Now, remember, in Dreamweaver, you had already went in to set up your site and told Dreamweaver where your site was located on your hard drive. Since we put this into that folder, this is the folder we put it into, and my Chromelution Responsive, now it should automatically show up in Dreamweaver, right? So if we go over to Dreamweaver, and let's go find it, and let's bring it up. There we go. Let's bring this on over. All right, guess what? There it is. Dreamweaver sees it automatically. They're both reading off the same site. Here's your gallery 1, right? That was in there. Here's your images, or my images. They're all there. There is my, let's go back over to here to the responsive section. Now, keep in mind that if you don't see, just thinking ahead of time here, if you don't see this in here, your index that you actually changed the name on, it's because you need to refresh this site. Dreamweaver needs to refresh its database. So right down here, right below your files menu, you have this little picture of a world view or of a planet. Just to the left of it is that circle with a arrow going to the right. If you click that one, it'll refresh it and everything comes up, and there my index file is going to show. Okay, let me get rid of this text one. That was an accident. Let's go hit the double click on the index. Is all you need to do to bring it up over here. There it is. All right, and if you now notice, I'm in my design view in Dreamweaver. You're going to have a code view, to view your code, your split view, and your design view. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to load this up to your server. And on your server, you're not going to load this as your index.html. You're going to load this into another folder called test. And what that is that folder is going to allow you to test your site and view it without it going live on the World Wide Web. If you saved your index file into the root of your server that your ISP instructed you to put your website on, the World Wide Web will be able to see you. You don't want them to see you. So I often make a new folder on the web and call it test and or test 2, whatever you want to call it. You can call it class 1 or call it web design class, whatever you want. Just something other than the index file going to the root of that folder. So put in a new folder so that you know in that new folder you're going to put all of your HTML files, all of your image files, so that you can test this site completely before going live. Okay, so I want to make that very, very clear. So once again, for right now, I just want you guys to get this into Dreamweaver, get it functional. Now, and then we're going to then just save it out so I can see it on the web. So in other words, if your URL, for example, is Cake Design, so www.cakedesigns.com, well, you're gonna make a new folder in there called test. So if I come right over here in the Dreamweaver under the files menu, I can make a new folder by right-clicking and then go to new folder right here. So in my file section, right-click, new folder, and call it test. All right. Inside that test file is where you're going to design a lot of this initially. So, and what you could do, now I think what would be a good idea is just to drag and drop a lot of these into that all of this into that test folder, and then work from that test folder. And when we're ready, we'll upload all of this. Okay. So as you've seen, I basically designed it so that it's on my hard drive, but yet I did not yet put it onto the server. It's just sitting on my hard drive. Now to prevent that from happening, this is what I'm going to do. Let's go to now you can do this through Bridge, or you can do this through Finder or Windows Explorer. I'm going to choose Windows Explorer. I think it'll be a lot more direct. And Windows Explorer is your view to your entire operating system. On my desktop, there is my web design folder, Zero Web Design, the same folder that Dreamweaver is accessing. There's my Chromeillusion Responsive. Here are all my files inside Chromeillusion Responsive. So I made a new folder called Test already. So let's do this one. This test HTML I don't need. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. The CSS files we're going to talk about later. So I'm going to grab the index. I'm going to grab also the images folder, and I'm going to grab the gallery 1 folder, and I'm going to cut it out. So Command or Control X. I'm going to put it inside a test and then drop them inside a test. Now they're all there. Okay. So from the index file, it's going to read directly into the next route down, images and or gallery 1, if that's where the images, that's where Dreamweaver is telling it to go get to other images. If I come back to Dreamweaver, you're going to see, oh, all this stuff is missing now. Okay, just close it out, shut down index. Now we made a new folder called test, right? I'm going to refresh everything there. Hit the refresh button there. There's test right there. Inside a test, there's my index. If I double click my index, there's my file back again. All right. Now, it was convenient to show you that way, to show you how you should be organized on your website when you start actually working with, interacting with your server on the web. But here, this is a nice little way to design everything inside a test. Then all you need to do is drag the test folder to your World Wide Web. No one's going to see it but you and me, because we're the only two that knows what's in, where that folder is or that folder exists and what's inside that folder. All right, so let me give you an example. Let me go to my Microsoft Word file, and then I'm going to show you very quickly. Let's go to Word here. Almost had it. There we are. So say, for example, okay, your business is cake design. So I'm going to go make this a little larger. Got it. All right. So www.cakedesigns is going to be your official website. What you're going to give me is this. Say, for example, test is going to be the name of the folder you're going to put everything in. So what you're going to send me for your homework is the actual link to view your folder, each of your folders. So, for example, it's going to be cake design /test. It's going to go into that folder, right? All right. And that should be a /index.html. And that should be what you give me. Now, say, for example, you want to give me gallery 1 now. Now I'm going to copy this one, Control C, because it's going to be the same exact link, with the exception of, instead of index.html, I'm going to assume you're going to call your gallery 1, right? If you're going to show me if it's an art page or a photo page or something of that nature, it'll be as gallery 1. No spaces. When your nomenclature on the web, you ought to make sure you have no spaces. If you need to have a space, put in an underscore or a dash. That's important. The web does not like spaces at all. It won't view your pages sometimes. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. You have no control over that. So there we go. So there it is, right? And say you have an About Me page, right? So it'll be the exact same thing, except this time it'll be cakedesigns.com test, and inside test it'll be About Me. Remember, no spaces, aboutme.html. Just send me the links, put it into a Word file, and you're going to upload that Word file into your homework page. Okay, so that's what I'm going to want to see from each person. So I want to see a link to your home page and a link to each of your internal pages, every single one of your internal pages inside your document. So I'm going to take a look at, let's kind of go back to Dreamweaver here. I'm going to take a look at Dreamweaver, and I'm going to look at your links, and I want to see a page for every single one of these links. And you're going to give me a link to that page, okay? It should be pretty straightforward and pretty simple. All right, now let me show you next on how to export this to your server.